Good afternoon, everyone. I am a Crown Master from South Korea, Master Wang, Park Gwang Wook. I am extremely happy to gather with everyone in Hong Kong. The last time I came, after meeting everyone, I felt the enthusiasm was incredibly high, which left a very deep impression on me. This time, since it's my second visit, I can once again see everyone's enthusiasm. Indeed. So being able to see Hong Kong is truly experiencing a different market. The energy field is very strong, so I can see that Hong Kong will undergo a tremendous change in the future. Yes, I am doing Atomy. At first, I felt like I was deceived into this. Has anyone been deceived into this? If not, you are very lucky. I was deceived at the very beginning when I started with Atomy. My introducer told me that selling toothbrushes and toothpaste could lead to wealth and change the course of my life. I thought, how is that possible? Just selling a toothbrush and toothpaste, and you tell me I can succeed. I rejected it, and rejected it for more than 3 months. And then he said to me, wow, let's go travel. I asked where to go, and he said, well, there's a great place where many of us can go together. I said, that sounds good. Let's go together. After we went, I realized it wasn't a travel destination at all. It was a success academy. I sat in the last row, just blankly looking forward at the backs of over 3,000 heads. Oh no, what should I do? He told me, since you are here, you might as well settle down. When I heard that, I got even more upset. You clearly deceived me to get me here, and now you tell me to settle down. But, well, there's no choice now. I've already arrived. So I just listened. But what if I couldn't take it in? I just sat there. When it was time for the intermission, we had a 20-minute break and everyone went out. I sat down there foolishly, and they played a cartoon over here called, the Woodpecker cartoon. Has everyone seen it? Ah, yes, it's our bonus system. Yes, tell me how much the first level earns, how much the second level earns, and how much the third level earns. When I heard this, I felt like, it doesn't seem very attractive. By the fourth level, the income is not bad. And by the fifth level, at this point, it's possible. Then at the seventh level, wow, I wasn't attracted by his income. I was attracted by his treatment. Do you know what the treatment at the seventh level is like? That is the standard of successful people. Is there a standard for whether you have a driver? Should the secretary be chosen to be a bit more attractive? Is there a limousine available? And is there a credit card used every month? Right. And is the one-time bonus enough? And then the money that can't be spent every month is simply never enough. Sigh when I saw this part. Yes, when I saw the final bonus system, I immediately wanted that result. I really wanted it. I dreamed of having such a result. I want to succeed, I crave success, and I must succeed because I was born to achieve success. I cannot afford to fail. I have no conditions to fail. I can only succeed. So that night when I got home, I studied the bonus system 8 times from 8 o'clock that night until 5 o'clock the next morning, watching this animated video that explained the bonus system. The first system involves our 300,000 points and 300,000 points. I was wondering, how many people would be able to receive bonuses under such circumstances? How many would not receive bonuses? How many received them and then lost them? And how many came in and then dropped out? What is the difference between the bonus for 300,000 PV and the bonus for 30 million PV? Sigh. Their approaches are completely different, and I have been thinking about this continuously. Then in the simulation test and the second level, our second level, is the advancement bonus. Why is the advancement bonus set up this way, with 2 on the left and 2 on the right? Why is it set up like this? Instead of another way, I started to think and then began testing. I simulated it 8 times, and the answer came out. Oh, so that's how it is. I understood its rules. And once I grasped the rules, it became much simpler to do this. Instead of using your own brain to do things, You should follow the rules set by the company to make the task easier and more relaxed. So how do we understand these rules? The first thing we talk about is whether we need to have a lot of patience, right? Every day. There needs to be a turnover of 50 million PV. We can do it for one day, but how can you sell under such conditions? Every day. How to sell? You can't sell. The product is not something that is sold out, but rather something that must be bought by others, right? If many people come to buy your product, what should you do? So, yeah. My approach is to do it in stages. Well, in the first stage, I need to accumulate my own experience, so I told my introducer not to help me. I want to do it myself, because only by doing it myself can I gain experience, right? If others help me, wouldn't my experience be less? Exactly, so I must do it myself. And what I need is a lot of people, right? So this is a strategy of using a large number of people. So I cannot treat any one person as my endpoint. If they become the endpoint, then doesn't that mean it stops there? Therefore, I cannot consider anyone as the endpoint. So I need to have others introduce people to me, right? So I introduced 2 friends to give some face, to introduce 2 people. No matter what I was doing, I always made sure to have people introduced. Therefore, in the first 3 months, I was crazily selling products and bringing people in. When I first started, I didn't know anyone. I was, in South Korea, considered a foreigner with no connections, no money, and no experience. I couldn't even speak Korean well. Let's go. Yes, it's about constantly looking for people among strangers. It's about continuously talking to strangers and discussing my first client with them. Yes, there was a person at the tailor shop who was a tailor. I went to buy a pair of pants, and he helped me with the tailoring, and then he just came in like that. They were all strangers. Every day, I can bring strangers to the center, and as long as they come, I absolutely won't let them leave empty-handed. I will keep applying it on their face. And whenever they decide to buy, that's when I'll let them go. As long as they don't buy, I'll keep applying it on their face. Why do I really do this? Because my time is very valuable. I calculate that in 3 years, I must earn 300,000 every month, which means my daily value is 10,000, right? If I can't achieve a value of 10,000 in my work today, then I've effectively wasted half of my day. That's why I work especially hard and put in a lot of effort. I work 18 hours a day. Working 18 hours a day, I can talk for 16 hours straight. While I'm speaking here, I tell them I'm going to the bathroom, then I light a fire and cook some instant noodles. Then let me talk about how I went to the bathroom, quickly finished my ramen here, and continued talking over there. I can do this. I can talk for 16 hours a day. By the time I finish, my mouth is all smeared. We have to work hard, really work hard. The time ahead is for me to bring people in, to go out and find people, to bring in more people, and to keep bringing in more people without stopping. I live in the service center inside the office, and I don't dare to go home. Because it takes me too long to get home. It takes an hour and a half to go there, and an hour and a half to come back. Then when I get home, I still have to eat and do other things. Isn't that 3 hours round trip? So I only have a little over 4 hours at home, right? You know, those 4 hours determine my success or failure. Do you know how much value these 4 hours every day can bring to me? I can't go home. I sleep on the podium in the service center, on the floor of the service center, on the chairs in the service center, and on the tables in the service center. I cannot go home because time determines success or failure for me. Speed determines success or failure for me. If I slow down, my partners slow down. If I speed up, I can drive my partners and reach a normal pace. Is it that if I sell once, my partner sells twice to the next generation? It would slow down. So I cannot allow myself to slow down, nor can I afford to make mistakes. It must be fast. It must be very quick to seize that direction. It has to be extremely fast so that more people can come in. After I completed the first 3 months, I basically stopped going out to run the market. It was all about people. Everyone brings someone along, and everyone is bringing others. Because I tell them, you don't need to worry about what you can't bring. Just leave everything else to me. I will speak. I will lead. But what if there are too many people and I can't manage to speak to everyone by myself? Standing on the stage, you all come together to listen. To me speak alone. You all come together to listen. And then more and more people will come until every event is fully packed. So I will not place my hope for my own success in the hands of any one person. Instead, it allows anyone to introduce people to fight. The maritime strategy must be fast and must involve many. So, this is how I understand the first bonus system. What about the second bonus system? It relates to promotions. In terms of understanding, I mean that I am the leader of the team. I am an entrepreneur. So I need to have the posture of an entrepreneur. Therefore, I must lead the team forward, rather than being pushed by the team. Do you understand? What does it mean to be pushed by the team? It means that you are waiting for my market to mature a bit more, for my team to grow a bit larger, for my team's PV to increase a bit more, and for my team to develop a bit further without waiting. Not waiting. I want to pull ahead. It's almost time to advance and push forward. Within 100 days, I must become a sales master. At that time, our center had a sign that said, "Challenge to become a sales master within 100 days." Everyone who joined had the same goal of 100 days. Some achieved it in 80 days, some in 60 days, and one even did it in 49 days. Anyway, as long as he gets in, he will definitely make it happen. Yes. So he is working his hardest to push this forward and motivate the team. If you don't motivate the team will slow down, right? Don't we have a responsibility in this? At this point, some people might say we are right, while others may not understand right. You are a leader. So what if you have to bear this responsibility and get criticized by others? So what if you are scolded a bit? If others don't understand you, what does it matter, right? Therefore, you cannot be influenced by the market. You must understand that you are an entrepreneur. It is your success, and you must achieve results. You cannot place your hopes on others. Your dreams must be in your own hands. Only by taking control of your dreams can they have true value. Here's the thing. After I had nearly completed the Korean market, I started thinking about entering overseas markets. At that time, I thought, well, the Singapore market is great, so I flew over. When I was working in the Singapore market, the weather was so hot. I went there barefoot. Not literally, but I was running around the market without shoes. I even have a photo of that. Walking barefoot while holding my shoes, I wasn't used to the heat in Singapore, so I moved on to the Malaysia market for the first time. Well, basically, there were no good results. I went a second time and still no good results. On the third visit, I was very lucky. One person had a partner, then introduced another, and then another. After a few such connections, I finally met Brother Alex Song. At that time, I had a particularly deep impression of him. The introducer told me that Brother Alex Song is a very impressive person, and then went on to describe him in detail, mentioning that he had appeared on the cover of news media. The photos that appeared in the magazine remind me of someone who once told me about the several large direct selling companies he worked for within 30 years, achieving the highest level in each company. There are no records of failure. All are the most successful. Later, he successfully retired and started his own direct sales company. Yes, he was in 7 countries, right? Or maybe more, but he succeeded in all 7 countries. After achieving success, he successfully sold the company to a publicly listed company in Singapore, and then, after achieving success, I retired. When I was introduced to Brother Alex Song for the first time, I was quite nervous because I was only 29 years old at that time. I was like, how can I meet this big shot? I'm so nervous. Then I vaguely remember Brother Alex Song saying to me, when I was 30, someone gave me an opportunity, and today I pass this opportunity on to you. Come on. As I approached, I gave you some time to speak. I seem to have about 10 minutes, so let me talk a bit. Fortunately, I had made ample preparations for this, but I still cautiously and nervously shared about the Atomy business with Brother Alex Song. Yes, so after that, Malaysia started to take off crazily. We remember that before the opening, we had already spent 10 months preparing. During those 10 months, we went through a lot of setbacks, misunderstandings, and difficulties, as well as being suppressed by others. We experienced all of this. Oh, it really is the one that hasn't opened yet. Brother Alex Song and I just stared at each other, and I didn't dare to look at him. Because I told him that the company was going to open, but it hadn't opened yet. And then it was going to open, but still hadn't. I really couldn't bear to watch. At the moment of the grand opening, we were truly moved to tears. From the moment the California members joined, we succeeded. And then in Malaysia, we opened on November 14th. In just 2 days, the 14th and 15th, we achieved 124 sales masters. Yes. And there are also 60 to 70 diamond masters and dozens of rose masters. In just 2 days, wow, it really made a name for itself in one battle.